Hello, I'm glad that you are here. Welcome to week 23 of Project 52, where I'm producing one new track each week for 1 year straight. And today it's a new week, so that also means that I'm gonna be making a new track. So let's get right to it. Okay, here's the track so far for week 23. I've already started it, as I have often done. This week we are going to be making some sort of dance music, but I'm not really sure what the exact genre is, so you can make the call on that if you want. Starting from the drums, we have a lot of different elements, as I usually add in my drums, but a lot of single hits, a couple of loops. Let me just first play you everything in the drums group, and you can hear how the drums sound like. They do sound kind of like trance drums. So we have the kick drum. And actually this time we have a ghost kick, which is just acting as a sidechain input for the bass and the leads. Because the kick drum on its own is a bit weird, like in the shape of the volume. And it's also fairly long. So by using the kick drum as the sidechain input, the sidechain sounds very unnatural, and also it's not as smooth as I would want it to be. So I decided to use a ghost kick this time. It's just like white noise. Then we have some perks, for example this one. This is actually one of the loops that I have in here. Then we have this, like, I don't know what this is, but it just adds some low end to the sides, like lower mids, as you can see here. Actually quite a lot. I'm not sure if that's too much, but we'll figure that out later. Then we just have some hi-hats, rides, crash, and then some more high end in the second half. Moving on to the bass, we have just one very simple phase plant patch, and that sounds like this. In the leads group, we have two main layers that are acting kind of as the body of the melody, and then we have the melody layer on top, which just, well, let me just show it to you so it's easier to understand. So first we have this one preset from Analog Lab, which sounds like this. Then we have another preset from Analog Lab, which sounds like this. And then we have the main melody, which kind of sits on top of those two, playing the same rhythm, but slightly different notes. In the first half, the main melody is filtered out by SSF, and then it's brought back in the second half for maximum impact. So in the first half, all the leads together sound like this. In the second half, we also introduce a... Oh, by the way, the main melody sound is just from phase plant. The patch looks like this. And then we have a chord introduced, or a chord sound introduced as well in the second half, which sits kind of in the sides and just kind of brings everything together. And that's also a phase plant patch. So in the second half, the leads sound like this. And then in addition, we just have some effects that are not like super important. I mean, this one's pretty cool, which is actually just resampled from an Analog Lab preset, but I just decided to add it here because it kind of fit quite well. We also have some white noise and this vocal effect. Okay, everything so far for this week sounds like this, and again, we don't have any build up yet, so it's just gonna jump straight into the drop. idea of where the track could go next, but that's not quite fully finished yet, so I'm not gonna play that to you. Okay, that's the idea. I quite like it. For quite a long time already, I have wanted to try something like this, you know, this kind of rave dance music. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm quite pleased with the track so far, so I can't wait to finish it. So let's try to do that next. I don't really know if I should start from the very beginning and kind of start building from there towards the drop, or if I should make the build up next and kind of build backwards from there. Let's maybe start from the very beginning. I have the drop now, and from here it's very easy to fall into the trap of just leaving it as a loop and not being able to build the story around the idea that you initially made. So I guess the next task for me is to try to figure out the feeling that I want to build around the whole piece. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I usually just add cool sounds without any context of what I actually want to convey to the listener. So I'll try to focus on tying everything together as I would actually want them to be, and it's hard to do that if you don't have a vision of what do you want to tell. Okay, that's enough of rambling. I'm just gonna jump straight into trying to make the intro. This is a pretty cool sound. Maybe we could start the track with this sound here. Quite as cool as I thought it could be. As usual, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's try out different things. Maybe something will work. My strategy usually for anything in life, to be honest. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a snare. Like everybody uses a snare. Let's do something different. That's pretty cool. Okay, now I have an idea. How do I implement it? far from perfect, but I think we have the intro now, so let's continue into the following sections after the first drop. I don't know what could be the next section. Maybe we could filter all of the drums, just get entirely rid of them for just a bit of more contrast. Okay, so I think we have the arrangement ready. The track seems to be 4 minutes long already, so I don't want to make it any longer. I just need to finalize the production and also work on the mix, because that's a bit messy, but that's tomorrow's business, I think. I think I'll end the production part of this week's video here, because as I said, tomorrow I'll just work on the mix and the master and the rest of the production, and those are just minor things. And then I'll just record the finished track and play that to you at the end of this video. Thank you so much once again for watching this week's video. I really do appreciate that some of you are actually watching these and it's just not me talking to myself here. If you have any comments on the project or something that you would like to see, some genres or anything, please do leave them down in the comments. I will guarantee I'll read your comments, because there has not been that many of them. So now is a great time to suggest any changes to the format if you would like to see some. I'll take every bit of feedback into account and steer the project into something that might be more entertaining, as we still have a lot of weeks to go and we are not even halfway there. We are getting closer though, but not quite yet. If you're interested in trying out the Project 52 challenge, where we produce one new track each week, please consider joining the Six Temple Discord server, where we have a Project 52 text channel, and there we share the tracks each week and give feedback to other people who have decided to join the challenge as well. Even for 1 week, you really don't have to go the whole year if you don't feel like it. You can even make your own schedule, like release every month or something like that. That would also be very much appreciated. I would love to see you on the server. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really also hope you enjoy the track that I'm about to play you right now, which is the mixed and mastered version of the track that we have been working on in this video. I hope you like it, and also please do join me next week for week 24 of Project 52. So see you then. Bye bye.